Hi guys, welcome back or welcome if you're new. My name is Tiana and I'm the maker behind Also Stitched, and we have regular weekly makes. It's been 2 weeks actually because I didn't post anything last week. It was that time of the month when I just wasn't feeling it and I didn't want to pressure myself. Whenever I put a pressure on myself, I get anxiety and then it's just not worth. Yeah, so I just took a week off and I would want to say I crocheted, but I didn't. But oh well, I was actually knitting a lot. It was the end of the month, and usually when the end of the month happens, I want to clear my knits and I want to get rid of everything that's on my needles so I can start fresh with the new month, and I managed that. We will not talk about knitting. In case you don't know, I do have a knitting channel where I talk only about knitting. I'm not posting there very regularly just because I've been very busy, so I have switched to posting once a month. I will do an update on my knits in March, and if you're curious about my knitting, feel free to check my knitting channel, which is always linked down below. I have a market update actually. This week my uni market was supposed to start. I mean, it's starting, but I'm not attending, and there is a reason behind, and I want to chat about it, what happened. And yeah, it was a bit annoying. It still is annoying. It's still an ongoing issue, but we'll see. So the management is run by the students, and usually every year or two they changed person in charge, and this guy, he was very good with responding back when he needed something. He was quick to respond on the mail, but when he sent out the spot allocation list, I was moved to a different section. It wasn't just the spot, it was completely different section. I'm usually at one section, not every time at the same spot. I moved around 3 or 4 spots, but I'm fine with that because it is the same section all the time, and I've been at that section for the past 4 years. Well, he decided to move me to a completely different section, and if you have been watching this channel, you know uni market is the only market that I'm doing without my husband, who is usually helping me because I do suffer anxiety. I cannot attend a new market without him because I get a panic attacks, and my panic attacks can be very bad. Just for the reference, I've been hospitalized a couple of times due to my panic attacks because I thought I was having heart attack. That's how harsh panic attacks can be. And uni market is the only market that I'm doing by myself just because I feel safe, I feel comfortable, because I'm surrounded with people that I've known for a very long time. The people that are doing these markets are people that I have been doing markets for the past 5 years all over the area, not just at uni. This guy decided to move me to a completely new section surrounded by people who I don't know. And the first problem was I was put next to the food vendor. And if you're a crocheter or if you work with any fiber, you know that food will over time get into your fabric and your fabric will start smelling badly. You're not gonna even notice that on the day. You will probably just put your plushies or whatever that you are doing that is made out of fabric away, and one day you will open your bag or box and you will notice the smell. I've learned that over time. I used to have a scrunchie business, and if I'm next to the food vendor, my scrunchies would smell. And I emailed the guy back and said, hey, please, can you move me back to my old spot because you have put me next to the food vendor, and as a crochet artist, I cannot have a stall next to a food vendor because my plushies will soak that food smell over time. By the way, the guy is making pancakes. I know him. He's been there for years. He's usually across me, but in between us there is like 30-40 meters because we are across the street, which is fine. But he would be completely next to me. They are beautiful people, nothing against them. It is just what they are doing, and I don't like to be next to food vendors. With pancakes, he's frying those pancakes all day, and you can imagine the oil smell. The oil smell is very bad. And I got no response from the new guy who is running everything. And after a week, the whole week I've been very anxious, very nervous, very restless, and it puts me in a mood where I don't even want to do the market, where I'm scared to do it. I'm scared of unknown, and I decided to cancel the market. I've sent him an email, hey, I would like to cancel market. I hope this is not an inconvenience for you guys. Please let me know if that is fine. It's been 5 days. Just before I have decided to film the weekly makes today, I got an email from a completely different person, and this person, I've noticed mail from this person. I'm not sure if they are in charge or they are, what is the position between guys? I don't know. There's multiple of students running this organization, and they asked me, are we the reason you are canceling these markets, and if there is something we can do? I'm just confused because I feel like the email I have sent to that guy is a generic email where everyone can see those mails, because they responded from the same mail. So I was a bit confused. I'm like, can't you see the correspondence? What's going on? No one's responding to my emails. And I open up and I send an email and say, hey, listen, the new guy put me in a different spot. I explained why I cannot do next to the food vendor. And since I do suffer anxiety and social anxiety and things like that, I would prefer to be put back to my spot that I have had for the past 4 years. Also, I have noticed that you have 2 new stall holders that have been put into that section and they have pushed me out. I'm just curious why. Is there a reason to that? And they came back very quickly and they said that they've been very busy. It is the new start of the year, that guy originally, he was doing something, he was away and he couldn't respond to emails, and that's why they didn't come back to me. And they asked if I would like to continue markets, if they can accommodate me, and I said yes, I would still like to continue with this market if you can put me back to my old spot. They said that all of the stall holders have a lot of inquiries and preferences and it's hard to accommodate all of them. I didn't want to be rude and say, but well guys, you have 2 new stall holders that you have put in my spot. Why push me out? I'm old stall holder, and I'm not sure why they're doing that. I mean, I've been there probably longer than those students are, because once they finish study, they move on, and I'm like, why move me? Why? What's the reason? Why not put new stall holders to the new spot? At the moment, I'm not doing market this week just because in my head, I canceled it last week and I didn't price my plushies. I didn't prepare, and I'm not mentally prepared because I've been having anxiety for the whole week, and I was like, I can't do it this week. I cannot prepare in just a couple of days. I'm gonna cancel this week for sure so that you don't have to shuffle us around for this week, but if you can accommodate me for the future weeks, I will be glad to be back. And they said that they will investigate my position and everything and that they will be back. I'm hopeful that I will get my usual spot and that I will be able to continue these markets. Even though I have to be honest, the day I canceled those markets, I felt relieved. Uni markets are the only outdoor markets that I'm doing, and I kind of felt relieved, because indoor markets are so much easier. No, I'm not gonna lie, but I do love the community at the uni and just the students, and it is a really beautiful market, and I'm not sure how financially this market is gonna go. This year it can be very hit and miss. It can go from very low to very high. So we'll see. At least for this semester I will be at uni, and we'll see what will happen for the next semester. Since I've been talking about that, I do plan on going back to part-time or full-time once we buy a house, which there is no progress with house. We are still looking. So the good thing is my first market is gonna be Artisans in the Park, which is gonna happen in 2 weeks, and I'll be ready for that. And after that I will have my uni and I will be ready for uni. So yeah, I'm just looking forward to having my first market with my husband. It's gonna be an indoor market, completely new thing for us, and I'm looking forward to it. It's gonna be one table market, so I'm gonna have to go as I did for the Supernova setup where I did one table full on grids. I'm probably gonna do a mock setup, so I'll make sure to film that and show you guys, and I will have a market vlog and everything coming. But the next video you're gonna watch is gonna be my convention showpiece plushie. This took a long time to make just because I was procrastinating a lot making it. Just the crocheting part was easy, was fun, was enjoyable. Sewing part took whole day because all the pieces are sewn on, and that was fun. That's actually not my problem. My problem is embellishing this thing, and you will see why. It's just a lot, and I'm not enjoying the process. I still haven't done the process. I'm still procrastinating, but this is the week that it will be done, and I hope you will be watching the reveal on the next week video. So stay tuned for that. That is definitely the biggest plushie I have ever made. I don't see myself making anything this big anytime, not even soon, ever. I think ever. So I've been watching a lot of Australian YouTubers buying all the yarn, going on shopping spree, mill ends hunt, and feels like bliss shopping spree, and I've been resisting, and I have to congratulate to myself because I have not buy any yarn, because I'm aware that soon I will be moving, and the more yarn I bring in, the more I will have to move. But with all of that, this week we are going to Canberra for the Australian Yarn Show that is happening for 2 days, over Saturday and Sunday. We will be there for only 1 day. I will be traveling with my family. We do have 2.5-hour drive one way from Sydney to Canberra, and I'm so looking forward to it. I've been saving my money for this event, and this is the event where I will be buying yarn. I will be breaking my no yarn buy this weekend. I do plan on give you a bit of snippets of the day, just with some b-rolls. In a couple of weeks we'll see where I will be able to squeeze this footage. But if you are curious more about this yarn show, feel free to subscribe to my knitting channel, because that is where the vlog is gonna go, and I will be showing all the yarn, because this yarn is gonna be my knitting yarn. It's all about the hand dyers, small indie businesses, and I do want to support all of them. Not all of them, I don't have that a big of budget, but I do want to support most of them. I do want to share them on my knitting channel and talk about them, unbox the yarn, and share my future plans. So yeah, Australian Yarn Show is gonna be so much fun. I'm looking forward to it, so stay tuned for that. And I feel now we can finally get into what I have crocheted for the past 2 weeks. Actually it's 2 weeks, but this is all I made in a week, because last week I was not crocheting. I was actually market prepping. For a long time I haven't done this, but it kind of kicked me because I don't have small makes. I've been only making bigger things, and I've realized after I have put everything in my Shopify inventory, I have realized I'm really lacking with my mini plushies. That's why this week I was focused on that. Since everything is already in Shopify, I know that my plushie, just the plushie inventory, is sitting around 4,500 Australian dollars, and what I'm working on for my convention, I would like to have at least $10,000. So I have a long way to go. I will also probably have to make more of my embroidery snap tabs for the next week, because I was also putting them into inventory, and I realized that I have sold out a lot of them. So I will need to run my embroidery machine next week, which I haven't done for a very long time. I have really neglected my embroidery machine, which we need to dust her and oil her and put her to some work. Let's start with Poggy's Place, because you can never go wrong with Poggy's Place. She has the best small makes that sell really good, and this time I did 2 koalas. I went with the classic gray. I would love to have more of these, but I would love to have a lot of other plushies. There is just not enough time in a day for me to crochet and knit and live live the life, I guess. I usually sell these between 18 and 20 Australian dollars. These are just gonna be like a small plushies. I won't be putting these on keychains because these are done in chenille yarn. Chenille yarn is not yarn that you wanna put on keychains because it's not gonna last. My daughter has tested this for me. She has my small plushies as her backpack body. Anything that I have made out of chenille and what is that yarn called? Can't remember. That thin shiny yarn, velvet. Thin tiny velvet. Yeah, I had a couple of skeins from Spotlight that back in the years I used to make. So unfortunately anything done in chenille and that velvet yarn did not survive everyday friction of the metal on my daughter's bag. And she is a rough kid. She's a teenager and I know her bag is flying all over the school and she's just not careful. I don't put keychains on chenille yarn any longer. I'm only doing it in blanket yarn. So yeah. 2 koalas from Poggy's Place. All of my patterns are gonna be linked down below. So these are gonna be keychains, but I'm yet to put keychains on because I actually have to find them. I think they are in one of my market bags because I take keychains on my market in case kids want to change them because I have them colorful. So in case there is a pink and someone doesn't like pink, they can change it. So speaking of keychains, these are done in Alice Velluto, which is blanket yarn, and it is definitely more durable for keychains. So I made another 3 duckies. This is again Poggy's Place. Pattern is called Little Duckies. I have the whole 25 of them. And the first time I just made 2 plain, and then I decided to make a bucket hat. This one is so cute. Very summery. Then I wanted to make a mullet guy, but as you can tell, this is not a mullet because I didn't enjoy the process of making this. I'm not gonna lie, this is a lot of work. I mean, this is the looping technique that she is using to make this hair cut, whatever you want to call it, and you're essentially working with a very long yarn tail. And I ran out the yarn and I was lazy to attach new one to finish the mullet because you're supposed to go all the way down here. This took a long time and I was like, I'm just halfway and I still need to make more, and I was like done with it. And when I looked into this guy, I'm like, this looks okay. It is a cool haircut. I don't know what you would call this, but this guy looks cool to me. So I decided to just leave it as is. Sorry I didn't make a proper Aussie boy with the mullet hair, but oh well. This one is still looking good. I still find him cute, but I don't see myself making this ever again because it is not worth. Essentially, I'm selling my keychains for $15, but I feel like these guys are gonna be more because probably 18. So I'll see. I will have to decide. And then in the end, I decided to make a muho guy. So it is just cute. I loved making this one. This one is not a lot of time, but yeah, still looks pretty good. As you can tell, the eye difference on these 2 guys. I'm trying to see, I think this is the original what pattern calls you for, and every time I make it like this, I was struggling to put the beak because beak needs to go over 4 stitches and I was struggling. When I put them lower, I couldn't put the beak over 4 stitches. If I put it higher, then I have 4 stitches. So that's why this one is a bit different. And then with this guy, you are actually supposed to make a sunglasses for him, but I didn't have small plastic noses to do the eyeglasses, and you're supposed to surface crochet this beak before you close off the head and then do the eyeglasses. And then I realized that if I surface crochet before I close and put eyes like this, I prefer the look of this more than look of this. It is just the eye position for me. It is just the personal preference. For me, this eye position and beak looks way better than what is original in pattern. I think I'm just gonna continue making them like this because I do prefer the way eyes look on this one rather than this one or even this one. I mean, this one is not as bad because this is 1 row higher than this one. So this is per pattern, this is my modification, and this is also my modification. So yeah, just 3 more new duckies as keychains, Little Duckies by Poggy's Place. I do enjoy this pattern. These duckies are so quick. You can literally make them in 10 minutes. The thing is, everything else that you're doing on top of them, it's very time consuming. So you gotta pick or choose what you wanna do, or is it even worth, or do you just wanna do the duckies? When I was ordering yarn for my biggest plushie that I was doing, I'm doing that plushie in Snug as a Bug from Yarnsmith from Wool Warehouse. I also ordered yellow skein of the Flory yarn. I talked about this yarn when I was making my Boo Boo and Doodoo. I had some space in my cart to put more to weight. The weight is limited. So I put another yellow skein just so I can do some fluffy duckies. So I did 2 of them. These are just all from Jade duckies from Swing Animals. It is just the duckies. I didn't do the swings because I want them as a small plushies. So these are gonna be in the same price range as all my mini plushies. Probably $18. I think this is gonna be an $18 plushie because the smallest price I'm gonna have are $15 for my keychains. And again, this was just double-stranded Flory yarn, and the orange parts are Elise Velluto. And then I made couple of tofu turtles. For some reason, these turtles are selling better than Myrtle the turtle or any sea turtles. I don't know why is that, but these were by far my best seller last year, and I haven't made them for quite a while actually, and I forgot how quick they are. I think I was selling them for $25 last year. I'm not sure if I'm gonna keep it 25 or put the price down to 22 maybe. We'll see. So this is Tofu Turtle pattern by Megs Makes Patterns on Etsy, and I have a couple of them. So I have blue and pink. I have 2 green and peach ones. They are just like basic, but I do have a nicer eye on this one. This one has just the plain black eyes, and I have a purple one. So yeah, there is 5 tofu turtles. I'm not sure if I'll be able to hold them all together. These are really quick make because the feet are just the baubles, and I know a lot of people have issues with them falling down, but I don't overstuff the head, and when I stuff the body, I do stuff the body a lot, and it is really important that you, when you're closing this hole, that you pull this part in so that it cinches in, so you don't have that tummy that's gonna prevent it from standing still. And yeah, they are not top heavy and they just sit really nicely. So yeah, this is really quick and nice make, and kids really like them, and you can make so many color variation in this, and they are really quick. I think they're around half an hour make, and you can get $25 for them, which is amazing. Then when I was doing my inventory, I realized I don't have a lot of loaf cats, so I made another 2 loaf cats. These are done in mill ends. No, this is actually original Burnett blanket. It is actually the one that I made my Anchor the Octopus, but this is the mill end, and unfortunately this mill end yarn has stained my hook. Look how red it is. Not just the plastic part, even the plastic shaft is stained. Compared to the clean one, I mean, it's awful, but oh well, I'm not too fussed about it. I just have to be careful when I put this in a bag, not to put it close to light colored plushies because it might stain the other plushies. So yeah, I have another 2 loaf cats. This is actually not a loaf cat, this is Loaf Kitten. It is the smallest one from Annie Carraway Arts, and I even make mine smaller because I've shortened 1 round in the body. I've shortened 1 round after the back feet, and yeah, that's it. That's 2 rounds shorter than original one, just to make them even faster market prep make. I usually sell this for $25, and loaf cats are always a good seller. And since I was working with that mill end yarn, I thought it would be a great color for snakes, so I did another swirly snake from Zazulia. I really love this pattern. This is such a quick make for me, but this time I decided to modify it. it because I'm not sure if you remember when I first made, I said how I'm not a huge fan of the head because it's kind of small and I want it a bit bigger, but this time it's too big. I will make my third one and I think I'm gonna find a better solution for that. So this head is essentially Didi the Dex head because I really love the look of that head and the size, but because I like when the snake head has this top raised rather than on the other one it's very flat. But unfortunately this is a bigger head. I think this is 5 chains start. Next time I'm just gonna start with 4 chains and adjust the sizing, so I think that's gonna be the perfect head size for the length of the body. So yeah, a slightly modification that I did to the swirly snake pattern from Zazulia. The head is from Didi the Dex, but it is essentially just the increase in this top part so that the head is not as flat as in the original pattern. I don't know what I said about this. I think I'm gonna sell this for $25 because they're quite substantial, they're big, so yeah. And then I made a couple of drifts. Drifts are my comfort crochet. Whenever I'm not sure what I want to crochet and I want something mindless, I go for drift. I made one in this mill end yarn. I'm usually using just a mill end yarn because I get a beautiful size out of them and they're really curling nice. Usually it is type of Bernat blanket yarn. So yeah, I love the way this one looks. And then I hope you remember this yarn. This is Snug as a Bug when I was reviewing my Yarnsmith's order. I really love the way this looks in this yarn. So this is the Snug as a Bug print yarn. I had full skein. It was sitting on my boxes in my hallway and I was like, oh, I just want to get rid of that skein because it is one skein where it doesn't have its spot and I just want it out. So once I made this first one, I was like, this looks really beautiful in this yarn, so I decided to make the second one. And it is just beautiful. I don't know, this yarn is so nice and so soft. I do think it is softer than Modavira blanket yarn, but it also depends on the skein and the color. So my big plushie that I'm making out of Snug as a Bug, but a solid color. And that solid color is not as soft as the prints are, and someone actually mentioned that in the comments of that video, and I agree. Now that I have tried the solid, it is not as soft. It is very much similar to Modavira blanket yarn because even their yarn, the softness depends on the colors. Not every color has the same softness, but this is really next level. I love this yarn and I do see myself buying more of this yarn probably when I move out of this house and have a new beautiful spot where I can store my yarn, where my yarn is not gonna be in the boxes in the hallway, because that's my biggest problem, going into my hallway, shuffling the boxes and finding the yarn that I need for project. I love this. Look how beautiful this looks. And there is so many color variations in this yarn. There is not a lot of yarn pulling happening because the color change is very short. So you get a beautiful project because the variation is very short. I just love it. And I'm done with this yarn. This yarn is out of my stash and I'm really happy about that. And last but not least, I have a lot of this pattern because I went crazy. I'm gonna talk about one first and then I'll show the rest because they're all different. I finally did more chick in eggs because I haven't done this pattern literally for a year. Last time I made chicken and egg, I remember it was in Croatia when I was on holidays. It was January last year and I was bulk making them as market prepping because this was a perfect project to travel with because I didn't bring any polyfill and I didn't even bring eyes. All I had was white skein and yellow skein. And I remember making so many of them that I didn't have to make any through the whole year. And I actually sold all of them. I have one left and those I were making in Hobby Toucan and they were really small. This time I wanted to make them bigger, but I didn't want to make them in Modavira blanket because I also made one of them in the Modavira blanket and they were really big. So I decided to go with Milans. And Milans is usually Bernat blanket, which is smaller than Modavira. And this is just just the perfect size. Look, it is my hand size, just the perfect size, very soft. And I just couldn't stop because this is such a quick make. I think I time myself. It takes me 15 minutes to crochet everything without embroidery, embellishments and things like that, because I left the fur for when I finished all of them, because fur is the part that I like to procrastinate because it makes mess. It's very messy and I don't like that, so I was waiting until I'm done with everything that needs fur, and I was waiting to finish koalas and things like that, so I did that in the end. So I'm not counting time that it took me to finish this hair tuft, whatever it's called. But in general, just the eggshell, after you make one, you don't need to reference pattern any longer. Such a quick make, and I had fun choosing colors, making them all different. This is just basic white egg and yellow chick, and I'm gonna show you the rest of the colors because I think there is 9 of them. I guess I have a second one. It is the same white egg and yellow chick. I have a lot of this yellow yarn, so I should make more of these classic ones. But you would be surprised. These are the last to sell. I don't know why. Last year I had purple, pink, blue. I had all the different colors, and those were the colors to sell first, and then these were the last to sell. So don't be scared to experiment with the colors, because you would be surprised that these are the last to sell, more traditional colors. Then I think this is again this yarn, and just the classic yellow chick again. I just wanted to see how this Bernat blanket would look in an egg, and it's beautiful. It's a bit different and I like it. I like the difference. I have a lot of this skein. After I made this, I think I still have 2.5 skeins left over because I bought 4. If you remember, I bought it for only 3 Australian dollars. I'm losing my chicks. Then we have this one, again Milan's yarn. I talked about it. It is a gray and beige yarn. It is very interesting looking, but I knew it would work perfect for eggshell. And then again, classic yellow chick, but with different hair. This fur yarn is all from Spotlight, and I do have some from Hobby that they accidentally sent me different from yarn, so they allowed me to keep. So I think this one might be actually from Hobby. But I also noticed the Spotlight has widened the range of the fur yarn because they have some now more colorful. I watched Litza from Coco's Crochet. She was unboxing, I don't know which video was that. She was unboxing some of the new yarn and it was more colors. It was really nice looking. Again, this is another Mill Ends yarn and pink chick. This is a pink fur. It is a very slightly pink fur. It is not showing as pink, but when you compare it to white, it is pink. This is so cute, and these are the colors that are selling the first. We'll see this year what will happen. When I think about it, I only have one market that's gonna be artisans in the park. That's gonna be the only market before Easter. But trust me guys, these things sell all year around. Don't just prepare these for Easter. Make them all year around, because you would be surprised how good seller these are. I think it is the fact that they are removable and kids find them very cute and fidgety and they just love them. I forgot to say how much I'm gonna sell this. I'm gonna sell this for 25 Australian dollars. I was actually selling the mini ones for 25 last year and they were selling really good. And the big one that I made out of Moravira blanket yarn, I was selling that one for 35 and I sold all of them. But since this is Milan's yarn, it is very cheap yarn and I have a ton of it. Even though these are so much bigger, I'm happy to sell them again for $25. And the one that I'm left with from my last year that I used to sell for 25, I'm just gonna lower that price for probably 18 and put them in the basket with my mini plushies just to get rid of that one and continue making the bigger ones. This is the blue color that I made my Anchor the Octopus, and then I decided to go with gray one with blue, this thingy, comb, tuft, whatever I don't know what is that called on chickens. I made this one in Elise Velluto yarn. So again, it's really nice and cute, something different, something fun. Kids might love this. And technically I wanted to do inverted colors for this one, so I did blue chicken, but this time I put the purple one just to resemble the Stardew Valley chicken, and yeah, I like this one. It is fun. Yeah, they are so fun looking, and once you start making this, I just couldn't stop. These were done, I think I made all of these in 1 or 2 days. I don't remember, it was a week ago, but I was just having fun, so much fun, and they are such a quick make for $25 sale. And the last two one are more variegated. These are all from Inlands again, but this yarn is, I don't think this is Bernat blanket. This is very rough. As you can see, it has some texture, unless it is a bad Bernat blanket. It is very textured and it is bigger. You can see the egg size is very bigger compared to all the other ones. I'm still gonna price it the same because I just don't care. I actually don't like this yarn. I would like to get rid of it. You can see how chicken is even drowning inside how big the egg is, because chicken is done in Bernat blanket. And just the pink chicken with pink fur. And we have this one. I made drift out of this one, and then I did white chicken with black fur. And this is so cool. I find this one very interesting and different, and we'll see what people will think about this guy. So yeah, I think that's 9 of them, and should be enough to start with. They are such a quick make that if I sell them on my first market, I'm looking forward to make these ones more. And that is all when it comes to my plushies. It might not be a lot for you guys, but for me it is, because I have a lot going on at the moment. So yeah, I'm really happy where I am. I think with all of these makes, I'm probably sitting around $5,000 of plushie inventory, which is more than enough. And I still need to put my beanies in my inventory and see what else will I bring to my first market. And I'm so excited. I'm actually excited to take you along my first market. My next video is gonna be that my big plushie reveal, and after that I think we will have another video where I will be doing mock setup, showing my final makes and getting ready for the market, and then we will have market vlog after that. But before we leave, I really wanna thank to Krista from Secret Yarnery from not just shouting me out. She actually made a whole video about me, and I was so shocked and surprised because it happened overnight. I woke up to being monetized. I was really close to being monetized because I was growing really slowly and steady, and I was completely fine with that. I was really happy because I have never asked for subscribers. I have never come to this channel and say subscribe, like, or anything like this, because I feel like if you want to follow along, you will subscribe and you will continue watching. But I was shocked to see that she actually made a 6-minute video about me and my YouTube channel, and I'm so grateful. Thank you so much, Krista. I actually didn't know about Krista at all. She is a UK YouTuber. She has a big channel. I mean, she is huge, guys. I'm gonna link her channel down below, so please go check her out. She's not a plushie maker. She does beautiful blankets. I watched a couple of her videos lately. She has been making videos about small YouTubers and shouting them out and helping them. I'm really grateful that she has discovered little old me down under. I didn't expect that, and I'm really thankful and grateful, and I want to welcome all of you new subscribers who are here watching. Thank you so much for subscribing and deciding to watch me. Yeah, I was really speechless. I was overwhelmed. I was really anxious because I didn't know what was going on the first thing that I woke up to realize the amount of subscribers. Luckily, one subscriber mentioned who I'm coming from until I realized that she actually tagged me so that I could actually see the video that it's coming from. So yeah, it was a bit overwhelming, but positively overwhelming. So I'm really thankful and grateful for you, Krista, for what you are doing for small YouTubers. And thank you again to everyone who has subscribed. In case you don't know me, let me introduce myself just shortly. I know it's the end of the video and not a lot of people watch till the end of the video, but that's what makes it sweet. So even Krista mentioned in her video that she can hear an Australian accent, even though I'm from Australia. I'm just living in Australia. I'm not Australian. I'm from Croatia. I arrived in Australia 7 years ago with my family, and we have decided that we are staying here. We are not citizens yet. We are permanent residents, and at the moment we are buying our first property in Australia, and we have decided that we want to give our kids an opportunity to continue their future in Australia, because we do think that this is better option than going back to Croatia. So yeah, in general, I do think that Australia can bring better future for me and my family than what we had in Croatia. I've been crocheting for over 16 years, and actually my first amigurumi that I've ever made was 15 years ago. And I'm surprised, back then amigurumi was not as popular and everyone was doing it just out of acrylic. And I'm surprised how big amigurumi has grown over the years, and all the plush yarn that we have available now. I didn't start with amigurumi. I started with blankets and beanies and bucket hats, I think, as everyone did back, 16 years ago. That's actually a long time ago. But I've been also knitting. I've been knitting for 35 years. Oh my god, is it? Yes. I was only 6 when I learned knitting. I've knit a lot during my childhood, teenage years, and even young adults. Ever since I have learned crocheting, I have stopped knitting, but last year was the year when I picked up my knitting again, and that's when I started my knitting channel too, which is performing really bad because I have decided to separate my knitting and crochet content. I used to have my knitting content here on this channel, and this has actually really stopped the growth of this channel. And ever since I have removed my knitting content to a different channel, this channel has started performing so good. And that's exactly what was pulling down my crochet channel, mixing two contents, and for some reason YouTube algorithms don't like that. So my knitting channel is now separate. It is very baby micro channel, but I'm not in a rush to grow that channel because that is just something that is for me, where I want to share my knits, which is, knits are very slow progress, so I'm not in a rush to grow that channel. I'm really happy and grateful that this channel finally got monetized. It's gonna be almost a year since I started this channel. It's gonna be actually in only 2 weeks, it's gonna be a full year of me here on YouTube. And I have to say that YouTube channel is one thing that kept me going this whole year and that I didn't give up. I did have periods during this year that I didn't post videos, and that is fine. Being consistent with YouTube is key to success. I really enjoy making these videos. I really enjoy sharing with you guys because I have no one to talk about crochet or knitting because I don't have family here, I don't have friends here. I'm pretty much introverted. I am spending time in my craft room. I am spending all days in my craft room, and that's fine. I'm choosing to do that. I'm not complaining. I don't need friends because I'm introverted, and I feel fine talking to camera, but I don't feel fine talking to people. It's weird, I know. Okay, I feel like I'm rambling now. Also, in case you don't know, I do have a website. All of these plushies that I'm showing, I'm also selling. So in case you are curious, feel free to check my website. It is also stitch.com.au. It's always linked down below. Feel free to shop because I do ship worldwide, and I will soon have my knit beanies on there. And yeah, that is it, guys. I feel overwhelmed now. Thank you, Krista, again. Thank you for shouting me out. That was big, that was huge, and thank you so much. And thank you to everyone who has subscribed, and until next time, happy crafting.